Welcome to the Center Grove Boys Basketball Show. I'm your host, Kevin Conrad of Center Grove Sports Network, joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Cliff Hawkins. Coach, again, another snowy day, but we're inside here at Arnie's in Greenwood where it's nice and warm.
Well, absolutely, but we've set records now for this year. I think the most snowfall ever in a December, January, February period, so pretty awesome.
I'll say, Coach, this weather has played havoc with your ball club this year and other teams as well.
Yeah, it does. It really affects when you can practice, how you can practice, when you play somebody. A lot of times when you play somebody is a real key. And it does affect just the players' routines. And we have struggled with a lot of illness, and I do think probably part of that is just the lack of routine that they normally don't have. Although this last week we finally got a full week of school in, and I found that a lot of the students seemed a little bit tired because they hadn't gone for a whole week. So anyway, it's been an interesting winter.
Coach, since our last TV show, we talked about this stretch that you're going through right now would be the toughest part of the schedule. Obviously, the MIC this year about as deep and about as good as it's been.
It's an excellent basketball conference. Our players have worked very hard. I think the thing that always makes it enjoyable, you think about 4 to 5 practices compared to every game. And fortunately, our players are so enjoyable in how they approach practice, how hard they work, how determined they are. They're real about it. They're not fake about it. They realize, just right now we're up against some odds. But that's what makes coaching sometimes still very enjoyable, is that when you have a group of young people still pursuing what their goal is, but at the same time learning how to handle the disappointment that's come along the way in some of the games.
Coach, the most recent game, a conference game at home, Thursday night, Lawrence Central, a very athletic team, and you kind of told me before this game that you really were concerned about getting off to a good start, and you guys struggled with that start again.
We really did, and I feel really bad for the players because I know they really tried to prepare for that start, but simply their quickness and their shooting. I think they ended up shooting 57% for the game, but starting out it felt like it was about 80%, 85%. We've run into a lot of that because at one time I think they just thought they could take us, and now we've shown over the years that we can play in this conference. We've won the conference twice. I think that these teams really prepare, and when they have a little more on the floor maybe in ability than what we have, not in determination. I do think sometimes you see this, and boy, they just came out like gangbusters on us. It was really hard for us to get it calmed down. I
would say, Coach, then you're playing catch-up rest of the way in this ball game, but I felt like that latter part of the first quarter, you found a combination working really well for you.
We really did. We made some substitutions, and we started to move the basketball again a little bit. We opened up the floor a little wider. This has been hard for our players because, we've been small kind of for 2 years, but what Troy did for us last year and where he would cut and move to get the basketball, he was really crafty at getting open. Allowed us to still think that you could kind of run the same offensive stuff that you did with Joe that would always be in the post 2 years ago. And so consequently, that's been hard for our players to learn the spacing that's really involved for this team to be successful, because when Michael had Troy, he could move into a lot of different spots. And right now, our other big guys, they're working as hard as they possibly can, but for them to free themselves is just a little harder proposition than what it was for Troy. And then it obviously made it easier for Michael when Troy was out there, or Joe, and so on and so forth. So that's part of our issue right now, is our ability to open that floor so that we still can get something going to the rim. And it generally takes us a little while to get that done, but once they see it, we play pretty effectively.
In this game against LC, Coach, right in that third quarter, you make a nice run, you get within 9, and just couldn't quite get over the hump.
Yeah, I think we got within 9 and had the basketball, in fact. And so we did. We kept working at it. We kept chipping away. And obviously the players know we can't get it all back in one play or 2 plays. You're going to have to play the whole game. But basically right now, with the way we're shooting the basketball as a whole and the way that we have to play offensively, we only have so much margin for error. And so our kids will go a number of possessions in a row and I think play them about as well as they can play. And we show them that on tape. But then just the athleticism of the other team eventually gets righted again. They get it going in the right direction, and it gets very hard for us to stop that. So every time there's a run, they, eventually make a run as well. But I really thought there were a lot of positives in the Lawrence Central game.
Also against the Bears late in this game, you went with that 1-3-1 half-court trap, and we got some turnovers and some points off of it.
Obviously we can't utilize, over the years you have different things that you do, and the half-court trap has always been very good to us. And in certain games, you always have to have it available because you've got to change the tempo. And we've changed a lot of things here with our defenses over the years. But you also have to recall we had a lot of size in the back of it, whether it was John Degenhart, Joe Reed, Andy Smithers, all the way back, to a lot of the early days of players that we had, Todd Price. I mean, just a number of guys. This year, the problem is we can't quite do as much of that because in the back of our defense now, we're not quite as big. And if we make an error in any kind of trapping situation, the ball's going to the rim. But fortunately, we scored enough. There was enough fatigue on their part at that point of the game that our pressure did work, and it helped us continue to try to fight to be in the basketball game. And so I was really proud of the effort.
Coach, prior to this Lawrence Central game, you had a great one against Warren Central in the Vandy Gym and led throughout all the way until the fourth quarter.
Well, in a lot of MIC games we had not led, and we led at the half. We led at the end of the third quarter by 2. We came out in the fourth quarter with a set that we have been running for weeks a couple weeks to try to do something that would allow Michael a decision that he could make with the ball. And one of our players ran right into the play, and so we kind of got a little bit out of a whack. And I thought we were going to recover, out of it. And we made a couple mistakes, and it was a game where we did not get him rested well enough at all during the game. And so I think some fatigue showed through against their athleticism in the fourth quarter. But I really felt that we gained some things that night, and I thought that one night we spread the floor as well as we have done it. We moved without the basketball as well as we ever have. And consequently, it was a good basketball game.
I was saying this Warren game, Coach, what I like about what you're trying to do, I mean, you're changing things up. The lineups change up a little bit for each opponent that you're playing. But against Warren, you really spaced out the court, and you're very patient offensively.
Well, as the leader of the program, you have to decide how you're going to handle things. And I'm somebody who will not just sit back and accept something because that's all we can do. I don't believe in it. I don't spend time hanging around the lounge talking about our players not getting this done. We have some limitations. We have some huge limitations on this team. And I think people that understand basketball understand those things. But it is our job as coaches, we are called to continue to try to figure out what we can do, whether it's personnel changes at different times, whether it's alignments of different sorts, whether it's changing of a defensive situation. It's our job to exhaust ourselves in that so that I want my players still to be able to walk in the locker room with their head high, okay? As long as they know they've given their all. Because I can't accept anything else, okay? I've walked this stretch 33 years as a head coach. I've walked this stretch before, okay? I've got to walk the other stretch too, all the way to the state finals game, all right? But the bottom line is we have to continue to always do our best because that is what excellence is. It doesn't always mean you get to win. Excellence is pursuing your best. And I feel like our varsity team, all the way down through our program, I think the coaches and players have continued to pursue their best.
And another very competitive game, Coach, was this Ben Davis game. I mean, you guys had him at home, and right to the fourth quarter, you're right there with him.
Yeah, that was a game where if we could have, I think we had the start was okay in there. There was I'm having trouble now just exactly which plays that I know were frustrating to me, but I think it was we made a surge on them in the end of the first quarter, middle of the second. Then they surged again, and maybe we're up 13 at the half, 32-19 maybe. Or maybe we got it back 2 more baskets, made 32-23. That's what we did at the half. And then we came out, and I thought played extremely well in the second half and pushed that thing to a 2-point game and made them have to inbound the ball against our pressure trying to get the basketball. And in that particular game, I thought we played very well as a team, and began to see that we can, that what we have to do to try to be successful. And again, it was a very good basketball game against a very good team.
And, Coach, this one game against Lawrence North, you just caught them on a night they just couldn't miss.
Well, the Lawrence North thing was we knew going up there could be some real issues. We didn't know how big it would be. You got Todd Larry, Eric Montross from the '89 team walking in, and the kids are so fired up to meet state champions from 25 years ago. Because some of them probably hadn't met all the kids, because Montross lives in North Carolina, and so. You have that going on. Coach Kiefer got another coaching milestone in his career and has been basically the only coach ever at Lawrence North, and has gone through high times and low times. And certainly this was a high time, and it caught us on a night where really literally anything we did defensively we couldn't defend. And probably the biggest thing and the most disappointing thing that night was the grit to stick through being out rebounded so poorly. And I think that's what pleases me as we go back through Warren Central and Lawrence Central. We've held our own in the rebound battle. We tied Lawrence Central the other night. We had more offensive rebounds than they had. There are improvements occurring, and so that's encouraging to us as we approach the end of the season.
Coach, hang tight. We're going to take a break, maybe get a drink of Diet Coke.
That'd be great.
All right. We'll have more of the Center Grove Boys basketball show after this timeout.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Welcome back to the Center Grove Boys Basketball Show. Kevin Conrad, now joined by a couple of the varsity players, a couple of juniors with us, Austin Crowder and Joey Linking. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here, thanks.
Austin, let's talk about Center Grove basketball for a little bit. I know it's been tough as of late, obviously, some difficult games here in the MIC, but of the 4 losses, 3 of them you guys have been very, very competitive. This Lawrence Central game you're competitive, Warren Central and Ben Davis. Just talk about your stretch here in the MIC.
Yeah, playing in the MIC is always tough because, it seems like every year every team is, playing really well. So it's always tough to beat MIC teams, but now that we're getting closer and closer to beating them and we're competing with almost every team, we know we're on the right track.
I would say the last couple of games have been very, very competitive. Like I said, Lawrence Central, just got to kind of figure out these slow starts. I know you guys had some slow starts and you're trying to play catch-up, but Lawrence Central got within 9, had a chance to get it to possibly 7 or 6 in that second half, but just couldn't quite make that next play.
Yeah, it was a fun game to be a part of. We definitely started out slow, but like I said, we keep on getting closer and closer, so I think we're going to get a win here soon.
And for you, Austin, I know it's been a little bit of a struggle. You've kind of battled injury with the finger and a couple of illnesses and things of that nature, so I know it's been difficult for you to kind of get your rhythm at this point.
Yeah, it has. I haven't really found my shot, but I'm going to keep working in practice, and I think it'll come.
I would say that's the thing about being a shooter. It takes one game. Get that confidence, and you start ripping off a few, and then all of a sudden you can build upon that.
Yeah, that's like I said, just keep working in practice, and hopefully that'll come soon. Looking forward to it when it does happen.
All right, Austin, coming up, got some tough ones. North Central on Friday. I know you guys want to get a good win here for the lone senior, Tyler Bryant. And then the following week, you finish up the regular season with a couple of conference games against Carmel and Terre Haute North.
Yeah, I think we definitely want to get that win for Tyler. I think everybody loves Tyler. I think it's going to be a big crowd, and we're excited to play that game.
All right. What we'll do now is step over and talk to Joey Linking, guard for the Center Grove Trojans. And, Joey, you want to step on over? And, Joey, tell me about your season so far. I know last year you got a taste of varsity a little bit, but this year you're getting an opportunity to start varsity, and you've played well throughout the season.
Well, it's definitely not the season we really hope for, but we're getting better and better every game and every day in practice. And our main goal is to win that sectional and win it for Tyler and stuff, and win it as a team. And that's just our main goal. And right now we're working every day in practice games. Whether we win or not, it's always to help for sectionals.
So I would say you guys are improving, and sectional draw coming up this Sunday, and Of course, a couple of weeks we'll be having that state tournament, and a lot of these teams you played in sectional, you've won those games. The only one you did not beat was Franklin Central, but you had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, we definitely weren't playing our best basketball back then, and I'm sure they got better too. But yeah, Franklin, I mean, they're tough, but we're starting to figure things out a little bit. Franklin Central, they're pretty tough too. They're more athletic, but we're starting to figure out our offense, starting to figure out our defense, and we're starting to get the ball rolling again. So,
Joey, talk about your game. I know you've had some games where you got in double digits, 16 points, one game this year, season career high for you, but just talk about your game this year.
well, I've been pretty inconsistent, as I guess the team has too, but I guess whenever the team really needs me out, I'll step up, and as will anyone else. I mean, Carson had a big step-up game against Lawrence Central. If we could have pulled that out, that would have been nice, because he really stepped up. And, I mean, Anderson stepped up, Austin stepped up, everyone stepped up as a team. And I guess it's whenever our time is, we're just going to step up to the plate.
I know in talking to Coach, that's what he's looking for, maybe that next shooter or two that can take some of that stress off of Tyler and Michael a little bit from a scoring standpoint. And there's been times, like you said, Carson played really well, shot it well against Lawrence Central with 3 3-pointers, 9 points. And there's moments where you've been able to step up and provide that scoring.
Right, and I mean, Michael and Tyler, as good as they are, they really can't do it all, because I mean, teams are starting to lock in on them, and yeah, it's up to the rest of the team to help them out. And if we get the pressure off them, I mean, they'll look better too. So.
Joey, talk about the stretch here. We got North Central conference game, senior night. I know you want to send Tyler out the right way in front of the home crowd. Then you follow up at Carmel and at Terre Haute North.
Well, that's definitely not an easy schedule. They're one of the top teams in the state that's coming up. Even Mooresville on Tuesday, they're one of the top teams in the state. It's just we got to play our game and play how we would play Franklin Central or Franklin. Don't play an opponent that's number one in the state or whatever, because, I mean, we don't need that. We need that right now. We need to play our game and get better every day. So,
Joey, thank you for being with us this morning. Best of luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Austin. Finish up with Austin. Austin also a great golfer for the Center Grove Trojans, coming up on his junior year. And Austin, I know it's not going to be too far off, at least we hope. You look outside with all the snow today, but we'll have better weather, and golf season will be here soon. I know you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. I mean, it doesn't seems like winter's just starting, but yeah, I'm definitely excited for the season to start.
As I say, Coach Jim Williams just got announced, I guess, going to be head coach of the boys program, also does the head coaching of the girls golf program. But I know the exciting things for the boys program this spring.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Jim Williams to take over the head coaching job. I know he's had a lot of success with the girls team, so we're definitely looking forward to a great season.
And I know, Austin, future plans for you. I know you're only a junior, but I know you would like to continue to play golf going on to college.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to continue playing golf. I'm not sure. I don't really have much of an idea of where I want to play at in college, but I definitely like UIndy. I really like that program. But, yeah, I'm just going to keep on playing, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Gentlemen, thanks again for being on the show. Best of luck to you the rest of the way, especially in the sectional.
Thank you.
All right. We'll have more of the Center Grove Boys Basketball Show after this timeout.
Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. He's got SUVs, crossovers, long bed, short bed, flatbed, dump cab, crew cab, cinder cab, half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, high cube van, cargo van, diesel engine, gas in the stock, or custom in the color you want, man. Ray Skim's got your truck, man. Big and little trucks, man. Integrated locations, man. Skim's got your truck, man. Ray Skillman's got your truck, man.
Welcome back to the Center Grove Boys Basketball Show. Final segment with Coach Cliff Hawkins. I'm Kevin Conrad. And, Coach, let's maybe preview upcoming games here for the Trojans, starting off this coming Friday. Conference game at home against North Central. Senior night, always special night, but difficult opponent.
Well, North Central started out, they were a little shaky at the beginning of the year, and now they've won probably 10 out of their last 12 or 11 out of their last 13. They're playing extremely well right now, very aggressive team. It'll be a huge challenge, but always a good night. And, of course, Tyler is our senior. We hope to get him well. He's been extremely ill and has missed, really basically has practiced about 30 minutes since it'll be 10 days on Tuesday. So so we're going to have to figure something out with him. But certainly we'll get him out there so he can be recognized as our senior, and I hope that he can be able to play that night.
And, Coach, beyond the North Central game, I know you want to take them one at a time, but the following week, your final week of the regular season, hopefully we can finally play this Carmel game at Carmel on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. We've tried to play it. We, as you know, on Sundays play with our 7th and 8th grade up on the north side of Indianapolis. And Scott Hetty, the head Carmel coach, and I talked last week about the difficulties we've had in trying to get this game in. But we're hoping that we'll be able to play on Monday, and I believe that's the 24th or 25th. I think it's 24th. And we're really hoping to play that. And I had an opportunity to scout them this weekend, and they're an outstanding team. I mean, they're just an outstanding team. Klein's a Division I player, McRoberts Division I. They've got a ton of, some of their role players are 6'6" and 6'5", very strong physical players, very smart team, and we'll have to be at our very best to play them.
Then after the Carmel game on Monday, you'll play at Terre Haute North, and some confusion there. A lot of people thinking that Terre Haute North no longer in the conference, but for this one more year, they are still in the conference.
Well, when it came down to all the conference changes, a lot of this happened very much at the end of the school year. Became very difficult for everyone involved, for scheduling, for games. We wanted to play Terre Haute South. They went ahead and filled their schedule before they even talked to us because they were under the assumption they wouldn't be able to play us. Terre Haute North couldn't find a game. We were moving some games, this year we didn't play Bloomington South, and we thought we were going to play someone else, and then Terre Haute North asked us. So it's really been an interesting situation, but we're going to go down to Terre Haute North and play them. They've got a couple nice players that shoot the ball well. They've been playing different styles, so I'm not sure exactly what we'll run into, but they do play a very good man-to-man defense. And so we'll need to attack them inside, whatever way that we can. And I think it'll be a real interesting game. But I will say this, that if the snow would come and on Friday night, and we would not go to Terre Haute, that game would not be made up. That's already been decided, that we wouldn't try to play it on Saturday just before the sectional.
And, Coach, following this Terre Haute North game, it will be sectional time, and Center Grove will be hosting the sectional once again, sectional 13. The draw will be this coming Sunday, but this is what you play for. This is what you're trying to peak for.
Well, you always try to be playing some of your best basketball at the end of the season, and and many times it does result in victories, and other times it results in you have to evaluate performance from where you were to where you are now. And I think there are some things that we're still finding our roles in between. Really a lot of inexperienced players, bringing some players up. Bryce Brown has broke into the mix, now as a sophomore. Tyus McCoy's a freshman. Trevor Harrell has been up and down with us a little bit and probably starting to figure in a little bit more on some things for us. We've had to all these things and then still keep our team cohesive and together. And I would say that Joey and Mike, Carson, Austin, all the guys have welcomed our younger players with open arms, and we've continued to improve and grow. And so we're excited about the sectional and look forward to playing it.
Coach, also we want to touch on some other great things going on in your Center Grove basketball program. First of all, the Center Grove Boys Basketball League will be having championship Saturday and the West Gym coming up on March 1st.
And that's been a great thing. We bring all the championship games to the West Gym. It's a nice atmosphere. I know last year we were upwards over 1,000 people throughout the day coming through to see the final games, and a lot of grandparents, lots of parents. But I just want to credit our president of our league, Mike Eckert, and then I know that so many of the directors are involved, but I know Billy Bemis and Bo Barrett, and again, I don't want to leave anybody out that helps.
So Rick Embry.
Oh, Rick is huge on this, and I appreciate your help on that, okay? Okay, Rick, there you go. And but we just are so appreciative of all the efforts that these men make to make this happen, because it's a fun day for the kids.
Also, Coach, your freshman team concluded the regular season with a championship in the Cathedral Tournament.
Yes, and that's always a great tournament for us. We've always played it, and we haven't won it every year. We've won it more years than we have not. And the freshman team has, had a lot of players, struggled through finding their roles, but continued to had a winning season, and they continued to play well. And their best game was the game against Cathedral, and I was there to watch it. They had balanced scoring, 5 guys in double figures. They moved the ball, and they actually had fun playing basketball. So it was really neat for Coach Cooper and the freshman group to win that tournament, and we're very proud of them.
Also, Coach, your middle school team's got a chance to play in the Johnson County tournament. Coach Jim Williams, at 8th grade head coach at Central, beating North in the championship, and our 7th grade team runner-up in the county.
Right, and again, that's been a real tough year there for the middle schools because they haven't had much practice time at all. But at least they continued to pursue winning championships, and congratulations to Coach Williams. Congratulations to all the coaches at our middle school. And we're right now, as a high school staff, working with them on Sundays right now. And we also will do things all the way through May with them once we really crank it up here when our season concludes. But lots of basketball things going on, and definitely some great things that happened.
Coach, as we wrap up our show, we got to thank our sponsors. Again, Arnie's hosting our show right here in Greenwood and keeping us warm with some good Diet Coke, but also Ray Skillman.
Well, we really appreciate what Arnie's does for us here, allowing us to come in and do our show here. And then, of course, Mr. Skillman and everything. I know we say this a lot, but I don't know that I always remind our players, do you realize just exactly what happens here because of so much of the sponsorship we have, but particularly what Mr. Skillman does for us. So we thank him very much.
All right, Coach, on that, best of luck this week with the conference games the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Center Grove Boys Basketball Show. For Coach Cliff Hawkins, I'm Kevin Conrad saying so long, everyone.